On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, considerably less than previous Let's Talk FGOs. Much smaller by volume, much less talking, but still some talking. Hi, I'm one of your hosts, Omega. Over there, you heard the chuckle of Lucky, and school is out for summer. Or something? We don't even know.
We don't know, but with that, I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Hurry Up and Wait. And while we here at Studio Manga like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should get ready for the pain, Pekko.
Oh yeah, I wonder if I didn't put that as a note in the notes, but it's probably good to talk about. Because JP's gearing up for their 8th anniversary. Do have a slide for that, so get ready for that outpouring of destruction. Prepare for your brains to be boiled. But, before we go any further down the line, I would like to remind you, as usual, that this episode is brought to you by our patrons, like Adam DeHart, Blackest OG, Call Me Zed, Carlos, Dragon, Ferris, Fight Sizebird, Jeremy Vasquez, JDV9000, Just the Fae, Jonathan Sandoval, Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Ro Robin, Trevor, Shumprior, some guy named Bob, and Varian the Crow. If you like us and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Thank you for support, as always.
Thank you.
Okay. Managed to hold in a little burp until I was done with that. It was good.
Good job.
We ourselves have been doing this for nearly 6 years. I have developed advanced speaking techniques. Not really. I apologize ahead of time if I'm a little out of it. I have not been sleeping well these past couple days because it has been goddamn hot. Literally woke up in the middle of the night, small hours of the morning, and had to throw off my shirt because I was sweat through. It's fucking warm. So I'm a little loopy tonight, but it'll be all right because there's not that much I have to do on the show. Because as Lucky suggested with that intro, we're in kind of a weird holding pattern. We don't actually know what's happening next for us. And while we know what's happening next for JP, what's happening next is their anniversary, which means we don't really know what's happening next for JP. Could be literally anything. But that does mean we do have some time to check in with everybody's favorite kohai, Mesh.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Because it's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai. We're going for pro tips. So, my pro tip, it starts out with, hey, we have absolutely no idea what's happening next. We all hope and pray it's Neurofest, because I know I need those fucking skill gems. I know you need those fucking skill gems. And, a little more QP won't hurt. Plus, there's, mana prisms and other mats and stuff. Also, as a lot of people are, rubbing their hands, warming up their Oberons, doing the old school challenge quest without break bars is going to be funny as hell. Downright dank. But yeah, so, seems like we got a fun one coming. But, MASH, in our master missions, has been talking about summer stuff, presumably because it is the middle of July. This has some people fearful that this means the summer event is next. MASH's dialogue is usually supposed to be a cue for what happens next in the event order, though I would like to remind everybody, I don't think they write her, because it's voiced, I don't think they write her new lines of dialogue for NA, so remember that Neurofest already happened in JP by the time we got where we are now in NA. So, again, not a full guarantee of something, but if it is actually the next event like some people are fearing, again, I kind of hope it's not. 1, I need more Saint Quartz. 2, like I said, I would love the chance to, just grind out some stuff and not have to worry about brand new content. But there's a pre-release for this, which includes, banner and everything, so it should show up at least a few days ahead of time, if not the full week, right? There's a login for, a handful of apples and a couple of Saint Quartz. There should be raid-ups for both Drake and Nemo to Prelude, so, if you are worried that they're going to spring summer on us out of nowhere, they literally cannot. You might get the pre-release out of nowhere, but you will at least get a pre-release, signboarding, hey, this is coming. So, just keep your eyes peeled and stay frosty. Especially stay frosty. But, real quick check-in then from me for Records on the Throne, a regular achievement topic. It won't sound like it's very happy at the start, but, I do mean this positively. I did one last 10er, technically 11er for Oberon. Just got an NP4 Bargus and about 5 4-star CEs I don't need. I think I'm calling that one an unofficial wrap, folks. People worried about summer stuff happening. That said, I am still happy about the Bargus, though. Stonks. That's NP4, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, slight show spoilers. There's actually a back half to this, because I'm sure in the time we're here, chat can double-check me on the time codes, but I don't think we've done so you didn't get that 5-star, this entire time. We have been so packed full of actually talking about the Lostbelt that I have not necessarily discussed the 4 stars. And I know for sure didn't talk about Percival. So that's all. That's going to be the quote unquote back end after mailbag. So,
yeah.
MP4, fun. In that case, there are no evils, other than that just, we all bum rushed the story content like you did because it was, riveting, so we don't have anything else to do. It's not like, I have used this week of not needing to rush FGO content to actually, finish the last 10 hours of Final Fantasy 16 or anything. But that means we can move swiftly on to, did you finish your master missions? They're very simple this week. You probably did finish them if you were doing dailies and stuff. And if not, you can do your dailies and wrap them up pretty fast. You need to defeat 5 servants, defeat 15 each of Saber or Berserker enemies for one, Lancer Caster enemies for another. I would have said second, but technically it's the third in the mission list. You know what I mean. 15 Archers, Riders, or Assassins, and then get 2 skill gems or statues of any type, and then 4 skill gems or statues of any type. So, literally do dailies. Do dailies, do some daily EXPs, do some daily mat farming for the statues and the servants. You'll be fine. And that means it's time to move on to the news, such that it is.
Yeah.
We do have a few. Number 1, as predicted, Morgan Banner. They've actually done it. Morgan literally got a rate up like a month after she came out, but that's just, them's the breaks, kids. And this banner will be running from the 17th of July to the 31st of July. So it'll be there for a while. It also still has, I think this is just Bargistan, Babanshi. It might also be the other 2 nights, but I think it's just the Fairy Nights. The Tamlams. The Tamberlanes. The Tamerlans.
The Tambourines?
I wouldn't be shocked if that was somehow not a valid spelling of Tamlin. You'd pronounce the B like a VH or something, though.
Ah.
Also, yes, by the way, chat, in case you don't I know I say this a lot for Celtic servants, but I'm not fucking kidding you. There are so many different ways to spell this. But we do have some more stuff. For NA, our last drop here is the final story clear campaign milestone is opened up. Lasts until 8/3. Clear, technically, parts 1 or parts 2 of Lostbelt 6, but they're all retroactive. Claim your final 12 Saint Courts and also some foes. So, Catcherino, all that stuff. And now, not the big one, but we're climbing towards the big one. In JP, it's the 8th anniversary pre-release campaign. Started the 21st of July, going until the 9th of Augustus. It's the usual wind-up. We had one of these ourselves not too long ago, for instance. Log in for the usual shitload of stuff. Like 3 million QPs, shitloads of 5-star EXPs, stuff like that. They've kicked it off with a couple of pre-Rumble banners. Once again, letting you know that I feel like I don't know for sure if this is their plan, but I feel like Lasengal is trying to get every limited 5-star rate up this year. Because it's you've got separate banners for Moriarty, the regular one, Archer of Shinjuku Moriarty, and Da Vinci Small. So a couple of little preamble banners get you in there. Memorial quests will also begin rolling out. It seems like they are based on past year's events this time, specifically calling out certain things like certain Valentine's and summer events. So that's cute. They've also refreshed Start Dash and Master Return campaigns. And also, in addition, for the Memorial quests, they have started the CE vouchers. I don't believe you can get all the CEs yet, but you can get one of the vouchers from there. Also, they're going to roll these out, like, 2 or 3 of them every day for, like, 3 days. The very last Memorial quest has a question mark reward. I assume that probably means it's a command code that's got, like, a cute art or something, because they would just say if it's a CE, exchange CE, but yeah. Yeah, so I can actually, it's in our news desk, so I can actually read them out. So you've got, the first day is a Memorial quest for Christmas 2016, and then Summer 2017, the Jailbreak section specifically, so that's probably going to be like Ketz or Maeve. The second day will involve Summer 2019, and that'll get you your second CE ticket, and Guda Guda 2018, Teto, is that the Imperial Capital Holy Grail War? And then day 4 will feature Summer 2020, Valentine's 2021, which is the Valentine's we did earlier this year, so what is that going to be? Probably Galatea? No, not Galatea. Devil Karen, then?
Yes.
Oh my god, wait, is it going to be Baby Karen? It probably will be.
It'll probably be Baby Karen.
Yeah, that's the most unique boss fight. And then the secret reward is for a Nixie Crisis 2022 event. That was the other event that we got a Morgan rate up for. That was the one with the sisters and some Space Goop. No idea what that fight will be, but that one's got the secret reward. So yeah, they're going to give you 2 CE vouchers. They've already shown off some of the CEs, and you'll unlock all of those in due time. Was 2019 Summer 4? coming up on our 6th summer. So no, that would have to have been summer 3, right? I don't know. I'm very bad at dates and times. But yeah, so seems cool. But also FGO Fest, FGO Fest is next week. They've got like 13 streams lined up for the next weekend for FGO Fest. Like so many of them, so many streams and panels and stuff over like 3 or 4 days. But also, here's a really interesting one that's bamboozling a lot of people lately. We're getting official EN streams for FGO Fest, including one of them seems like it is explicitly being called out as a live translation / commentary of the big game news panel. Like, normally, they talk about game information, they show you that screen, that's when Nissan comes out and everybody goes apeshit. There is an overlap there with that for this Aniplex USA English stream, which says it is going to be a live commentary of that. So yeah, this one's got people, I don't want to say up in arms, but got people twisted in knots. People
agitated?
Yeah, very much agitated about this. People are very emotional about this event. And I'm not going to say some of that emotion is not earned. This is kind of unprecedented. Not completely. There have been, technically, like, JP-facing events. Like, last year, Aniplex had an all-digital panel, right? An all-digital festival. Actually, I think there was some live, but you know what I mean. They had their own little convention scene to announce a lot of stuff. And that did include, while he was speaking in Japanese, a little insert from Albert, over here, talking about stuff that Aniplex USA was working on. I believe that was the announcement of the plan to simulcast Strange Fake, and also talking about the Mahoyo release. So yeah, like, they've gradually, FGO has been better about acknowledging the community being international from the Japan side. Like, to me, while this is new and exciting, this doesn't really seem that strange. This basically seems like an outgrowth of what FGO's strategy was already. I mean, we literally just had our anniversary panel at AX, right, where Kano Yoshiki basically delivered all of his bit in English. Yeah. Like, he's been working on this for like 2 years. I feel like the JP staff at Losengo has actually been making more of an effort to, actually be present for EN stuff. And so, I mean, we know they're not blind. I'm pretty sure that they know that, like, Reddit existed, however you want to say that about poor Reddit. They go on Twitter. They have to know. Somebody has to sit there and look at the YouTube live stream chat, even if it's just the poor intern who makes sure that the live stream is working, and have to see the people yelling in memes in English, right?
Yeah.
So, like, they know an English-speaking fan base exists. So yeah, this just seems like a pretty natural outgrowth of their strategy. It's still exciting. I'll be glad to be able to get a live translation rather than, try to interpolate the game through the fact that I, have watched a shitload of anime in my time, and so can occasionally pick up a word. It'll be neat. Some people are going for, like, crazy theory crafting, like, oh my god, we're gonna skip 2 years ahead. We're gonna instantly catch up. What? Huh? Are you okay? Have you be thinking this? That sounds crazy. That sounds like a good way to fucking kill FGO. Some people are thinking about pitches for an accelerated schedule. I don't think that's the case. Albert has said previously that their design intent with the EN version has always been to kind of, like, the quote-unquote JP experience, right? To kind of, like, keep the plot level of the game at a similar pace to JP, but obviously recently we have seen now that we exist in the post-COVID times and are adapting the COVID times, we have seen the schedule get squished together a little bit.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that squishing continues. For instance, a lot of people are like, oh man, this delay for Lostbelt 7 Part 2 super sucks. It's terrible. It's the worst. FGO will never recover. Yeah, you're probably gonna wait like 2 weeks for that to drop. I mean, like, it'll probably literally be the gap to, like, make sure that, it'll come out on Christmas Day, and then they're gonna make sure it clears long enough so that we don't have to put, actually, hell, she's not even limited. You don't even have to put, Nito Alter on the Lucky Bag. She's a permanent unit, right? She's a permanent Avenger?
Yes.
So you don't even have to worry about that for the Lucky Bags. So yeah, no, they're like, it'll be like the Lostbelt 6 release. It's not going to be like at the end of January. It'll be much sooner, I'm sure. And I mean, yes, technically, Losengo has taken over this now, but that does also mean that they are, a different company with a different workflow. They have not been telegraphing over the past couple of years. How long has the single existed? It's been a while. I think it has been since around Lost about 6 times. They have not telegraphed any kind of speed up, and in general, I think based on what we see from other gacha games that get ported to NA, accelerating too far is bad for game, actually. If you throw too many banners and too many story releases, people can't keep up and they get, disinterested, basically.
Actually, I think the only one that I know that's actually doing a successful accelerated schedule is Blue Archive. But they're doing that very gradually. Like, we're not like going event to event. We usually just bump up the event a day or two. And it's just over and over, like doing so many events. We're just gradually getting closer. I think we're now officially like, what is it? Yeah, we're like only like, we're half a year behind, Blue Archive's,
Yeah, and I think Blue Archive's is pretty good. I have no comments on the current state of Arknights. I don't play it anymore, but I know that Arknights was for a while. NA was only like a few months behind. I think it was like half a year at some point, or maybe it was just like 1 year and they started pushing up. I don't know if they've actually hit a catch point. Okay, so it's still about 6 months delay. Listen, a little bit of buffer time is cool. AL did catch up, but they've been around a lot of years.
Well, like I said, a slow accelerated schedule is fine, but like we're 2 years behind JP. A slow accelerated schedule ain't gonna have us catch up in any amount of time.
Like I said, I don't think we're gonna play catch up. I think what, like I said, you're gonna see is you might see a tacit acknowledgement of the fact that they will reorder events and reduce dead time between events to make it more palatable to NA.
And that might shave, and honestly, that might shave off some of the quote unquote time between, but overall, I don't think it's necessarily gonna...
NA has always had to play this game. We talk about it constantly, but, treat every show like it's your first. People who aren't super familiar with the history, FGO's been around for about 6 years. The anniversary for the NA release is about a month before the JP one, in case you weren't doing math earlier when I brought up that it's almost their 8th anniversary. So we have almost always had to accelerate the first half of our year to make up 1 month. I don't know if that was always going to be their plan. Like, we did get our lucky bag like a month early for Thanksgiving, but people complained about that a lot, and genuinely, then Delightworks and Aniplex of USA said, okay, you didn't like that, we won't do that again. So like I said, if somebody thinks that they're going to like merge servers tomorrow, I mean in about a week, but you know what I mean. I don't think that's going to happen. That sounds like a huge pain in the ass that's not going to be worth it and is totally going to like turn off a lot of people. Also, you're going to miss so much content because they don't do reruns anymore. They don't want to do that. You see, the problem with worrying about acceleration is if they just skip 2 years, that's 2 years of banners they don't get. That's 2 years of your wallets they don't get. They're not going to do that. They want to make money. They make lots of money, but I'm sure Sony wants them to make them more money because they paid a lot of money for FGO specifically. So, yeah. I am still very interested to see what it is. Like, it could be as much as they start supporting more English language stuff directly in-app for the JP version. Like, there are, a decent number of games and other services in Japan that already have some level of English. I don't know how the translation team's going to pull that off because they're fucking busting their balls. They might announce the FSN English release. If it's going to happen, it's not going to actually happen until next year because that's going to be the 20th year. They might pre-announce it like they pre-announced fucking Tsukihime Remake. That said, I suspect that any such release won't happen until the anniversary anyway, so I don't know if they would overload us. Also, specifically, I should point out it is during the game news for JP segment, so I don't know. This might just be that they realize that, like, Albert keeps talking about and joking with us about our clairvoyance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we might have truly hit the point of embracing the meme where we have realized and tacitly acknowledged that people on EN just fucking look up JP information anyway, and they're just like, fuck it, we might as well just integrate that. We'll take out the middleman. Here you go. Here's our update. Somebody in our Discord, I think, asked, like, will they see any additional profit from a EN only or an EN specific, like, commentary or translation like this? I don't think it's a direct sales translation, but it's all advertising, right?
It'll get views.
it'll get views, it'll get support, I don't think they'll, run ad rev on it, at least while it's live, but, they might throw that up later. Obviously, YouTube has, a lot of advertising integration in general, but they, depending on what exactly is going on at the game information panel, they could show merch, some of which might actually end up being available over here eventually.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are holding on for that one. And just in general, like, not that I think they need to do anything to quote unquote keep people on the hook with where FGO is going. Obviously, like I said, the end of last year, technically the beginning of this year was rough for JP. Lostbelt 7, they called their shot with the Fairy Cup event that there would be no more brand new banners until the entire end of the year. So there's a lot of that going on, and Lostbelt 7 had kind of a delayed release that a lot of people very obviously can tell was not a planned split, or even if it was a planned split, it was not a planned that long of a delay. But I feel like FGO's won back a lot of the crowd with very specifically the Mother Draco and Tiamat banners.
Oh yeah,
the banners for the arcade release have been really good. While Ordeal Call was kind of weird and daunting, they're bringing in high level daily content you can do, so new shit for you to do every day. And Paper Moon seemed also to be very successful. A lot of people seemed like they like to see those character designs and stuff. I didn't hear anybody bitching about the difficulty in our Discord or anything. It just seemed like a nice, neat little thing. We got a fucking Medusa ult after that, which is pretty baller. Yeah, I don't even know. I talk about a partial merger. I genuinely don't. I don't even know if they can merge fucking servers. We're on different versions. They'd have to update everybody's version, and that would be super confusing because they'd have to make sure all the fucking language checks out. I don't know. But like I said, I don't think FGO needs to do anything to keep people on the hook for 2 years for NA. But again, officially covering the hey, here are some gameplay updates you might see, and who knows, you could see them sooner rather than later. Kind of a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hell, watch them somehow manage to turn it into an NA update where they're give us a quality of life update ahead of time, just not at our anniversary, just at JP's anniversary, to be even more confusing. But yeah, it's they did the servant coins super early. They could actually, if they did do a coin quality of life, they might be able to adjust it on both servers. I don't fucking know. I think it's just they're keeping their globalization strat, and we're in the era where we can explicitly acknowledge that English supporters and fans of JP exist, even though Google Play is kind of edgy about that. But yeah, that's you'll know more soon because their pre-release just started and the panel's not for a few days. So we'll see next weekend. We'll figure out, probably based on how much other shit is happening in NA, when we record our own thing to see if we get scooped or not. We'll probably get a little scooped on something just because these panels are going to be in Japan time, so it's going to be, in the middle of the night. But we'll see. Let's see. My only other... Well, actually, no. This is a good time to bring up the other thing that I talked about with the intro. In a also kind of astounding turn of events, for the 8th anniversary and for FGO Fez, apparently, Hololive's Pekora has been named a brand ambassador to FGO, which is... neat and very earned. She, recently they got permissions back to stream FGO, it seems like, and I believe Pekora jumped in for the first time ever. So she's been Russian story and stuff. But so very deserved if you don't know, but also kind of unprecedented for FGO as well. They do brand deals, but I don't know. This is new. They've got an actual brand ambassador who is not already somebody on the fucking game payroll, all of the voice actors who just exist to tell you to fucking play more FGO. Play more FGO so I can get hired again so I can roll more.
Play FGO so I can keep playing FGO.
Yeah, basically the ultimate Chad move. But yeah, so this is neat. Interesting. Has led to many, many jokes that Pekora will be the anniversary servant. I don't think we're going there. But
listen, I'll be happy with a Pekora CE.
Yeah, I mean, we got a special CE ourselves just for our anniversary, so they could do something cute, throw in some stuff. Does anybody know if Pekora's character artist has done anything for FGO?
I do not remember Pekora's character off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't either, but I'm sure I can throw that out into the ether and the simps in Patreon chat You can take that multiple ways, chat. Will catch me up on that one. Yes, many joke memes about the logo. I think the official our Grand Order Discord server changed their icon to this. There's a lot of funny haha stuff going on. But yeah, like obviously, for instance, many of you will recall that I mean, obviously there are quite a few. Paco's done some art for Hololive and lots of other stuff. But like I think the funniest one is that for Hololive EN, Ina's character artist is, the guy who draws all the foreigners. And this comparison has never been more obvious than the special anniversary Yang CE they just teased. Which is, you can really tell that the art styles are very similar, possibly by design. So, there's some crossover there. And so if there was actually any work from Pecco's artist, that would be interesting. But, we'll see. Also, while this is only a mere shout-out to my PlayStation fans in the chat, it's still good. I think we mentioned this in an earlier date, but just to let everybody know, Melty Blood Type Lumina is free on PS Plus if you have the extra or higher tier in the game catalog. Just happened, a couple days ago this week. So, if you don't have that already, you can download it for free if you're at the extra level or the premium level. So that's real neato. And indeed, I have a fucking, because it's already nearly the end of this month, I have a heckin' bonus stream poll where Melty Blood is fucking killing it. I am not surprised. The people know what they want. Lucky, you actually watched Strange Fake.
Yes, I did. It was actually hilarious. I watched it at work because my supervisor was out for the day, and I was all like, perfect. And I did me a mischief. But yes, no, I did watch it. I am very excited. They did a lot of good work.
Yeah, real good lines, real good style. Very, I don't know if it's trying to capture necessarily the illustrations of like the light novel, but there's a very distinct way I feel like they do like lines.
Oh yeah, no, it's actually in the lines and in the palette they're using. They're actually I don't know how exactly they're doing it, but I feel like they're using slightly flatter colors. Like they're not going as heavy. They're not going on heavy as heavy on the shading, and it makes a very distinct look. So shout out to Cloverwork, whoever decided to use that technique.
Yeah, it's obviously the character designs are, very much to a lot of their current FGO type stuff, for those who, translate, but it's got a very distinct visual flair. They seem to be going a kind of a specific direction with the music.
Oh yeah, well they pulled your boy Sawano, so
yeah. But that also means I feel like they've got a lot of integration of like rap or hip hop style lyrics, which Fate is not known for.
No,
most of the time. So like got a distinct sound, distinct look. So it's very much up there. I said last week, last week because I skipped to the first week. I am very glad that this is indeed a pilot for a series because it's as a standalone product, it's a lot of teasing.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed a lot of the animation. Funnily enough, I enjoyed a lot of the waiver animation as he is having a very, very no good bad day.
Yep. This Flat is a beautiful idiot, a real himbo in training.
Oh man, if you could have a master.
It's a terrible shame that he ran off with the knife thing. Because he would have made a perfect little buddy for Iskander. Also, by the way, shout out to Waver.
Shout out to Waver.
Being like, all right, this dumbass wants to go. I'll give her my special item.
Then he already left. Just
what? Huh?
The scene with the police chief and Francesca. That was the best.
Yeah, no. I feel like whoever did that animating on Francesca there, great work because like she is way more energetic than the police chief is. Like a lot more extra motion. Very solid.
Oh yeah, and the cinematography is good. Like when they zoom in on her for like semi freaking out, or when she's looming over the police chief and her shadow is just huge over him. Just all these little things. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, no. And obviously, like, the money shot is Enkidu versus Gil at the end. Like, hitting even bigger and better levels of, like, high detail work than Babylonia did for that fucking money shot.
No, it's so good.
But also, like, even though, no, go ahead.
No, please go.
Okay, I was just gonna say, also, even though, obviously, like, Gil and Enkidu are kind of the headliners, at least for the special, because, Saber is only in it for a very, very little bit at the end, though he seems great. It's not just about them. There are, a couple of others that are shown in there. while he doesn't really have much going for him shape-wise, Fake Jack is great dialogue work there, and
I love how they're portraying him.
Yeah, the animation and like character and dialogue work as well for Assassin and Casper are also really good. The intro scene they do for Strange Fake Assassin is like also really well animated, but also very gory. Do not watch if you have a weak stomach. Yeah,
that's intentional. Like I said, I don't know. I don't keep up on Strange Fakes, but I do know who most characters are and why they are here. Writer is a thing.
Yeah, they don't even that much like Saber. The writer is barely in it, but they give you enough of the spice with a little bit. I appreciate.
No, but basically what this teaser is basically highlighting the day zero of the events, because
it has to do the thing that every single fucking Fate property has to do, which is, hey, if this is your first Fate, here's what the fuck a Holy Grail War is. We're gonna summon some guys, we're gonna do some fucking magic. Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
No, you don't got it? Too bad. Bullets. You're dead.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, like, I think it does a decent enough spin on the exposition to make it still good, even if you've seen, like, a million of Fate animes. And, obviously, like I said, the animation work's very top-notch, and all the character work is really great. Like I said, I've known this caster for, like, 5 minutes, and I'm already like, this guy's perfect.
No. There's just so many things that, like, I'm about, like, when Gil pulls out, Aya, and they do the fucking, the screen shift, there's just a moment where you just see the fucking kanji for the Noble Phantasm. It's only on there for a moment, but it's just like, no, it's just these little things. I'm just like, yes.
And then there's another effect they do when he pulls it out where they just do I think it was showing some trailers, but they do the fucking screen crack.
Yeah.
And you're just like, whoa, doing some fun here. So yeah, the animators are clearly having a fucking ballin' out time. And yeah, I no word exactly on when a full series is coming. I would assume at FGO Fez we'll probably get a little more clarification on that, especially because it was delayed so long. But
also, please give me some clarification on Extra Record, please.
Yes, I would like an Extra Record update. I mean, obviously, if it's canceled, it's fucking canceled. Let me know so I can stop worrying about that. But also, like, if it's not canceled, I'd like, a timeline. Like, I know that, because, Studio BB is handling this is, off-site, second team kind of stuff. Seemed like they were still pretty small in that, so, they gotta, like, work with people on stuff, but, like, I would just like a tacit acknowledgement that it's back. Also, I don't think they've done a Tamamo-themed trailer yet, right?
No.
Yeah.
Our girl's getting shafted.
Round it up. Yeah, if the Type Moon magazine for this month doesn't mention it, that's probably not a good sign, but like I said, I would like just a little something. I mean, obviously they're going to be all in on Samurai Remnant, which somehow kind of, I mean, obviously it's with third-party partners, but feels kind of like it came out of nowhere. Like,
I feel like this was probably the team that probably worked on Extella and Extella Link. Like, I feel like a lot of the character modeling and rigging seems pretty similar.
Yeah.
So they might have had them on the hook for a while, maybe.
Yeah, but like I said, at the very least, compared to Extra Record, going from the announcement of, hey, we're doing this, to, oh, by the way, we've got a release date, it's September, bye. And I'm just like, Fate Samurai Remnant shows up, drops release date and new Musashi drip, doesn't explain anything, leaves.
True.
It's kind of how it feels. But yeah, so we're, we got stuff. Maybe they'll reiterate. Actually, I don't has enough time passed that they can have like a release date frame for the second half of the Tsukihime remake?
I don't even know if Nasu's done writing it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. I guess that's what interviews and magazines are for. We'll see. But alright, yes, that's all of our, Fate Medium news. How long did that take? Oh, man, it lasted 40 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah. But that's news.
That is the news. So with that, let us switch on over to this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. This week, I'm going to give the one last refresh, just because I like you all. It's still 15. We have 15 lovely, lovely submissions, and we'll get to them all according to the list here. We'll begin right meow. And this first one comes from Needs More Grails so I can level Barkus and Morgus to 100 because the story was so good. It's true. I'm also feeling that Grail crunch. Not because I'm out of Grail, but because I usually like to plan my Grails ahead of time. Like, I'm not gonna start grailing servants to 100 or 90 unless I have all the Grails to get it. I really hate stopping midway. I really do. But they say, howdy, looking to men again. Now that the long journey that was Lostbelt 6 has concluded, I certainly can't wait for even more of the continuation of Nasu's, there's 2 S's in there, Wild Ride. My question this week relates to my alias. So I grailed Super Ryan and Gramps to 100, and wait, which Gramps? Are we talking Muramasa Gramps or Hassan Gramps?
Yeah, it was the old man of the mountain.
We have 2 grandpas in Chaldea. And now want to do the same for Morgan and Bargas, because the story for each of these characters endeared them so much to me that I want to show them some appreciation for it. So my question is, have there ever been any servants that made an impact through the story of the game that you consider grailing them if you own them?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just looking at it. After they say, this week relates to my alias, comma, there is no punctuation to the question mark.
So it's a huge run-on sentence. And then there's another one.
I just have to double check that real quick. Oh.
There is actually literally a second run-on sentence.
But I don't know if a story... Usually what happens for me is a story will endear me to a character that I roll for them, not necessarily I grail them. Grailing is for me is really only for my husbandos and waifus, really. Because I'm of the opinion that if you can't get, like... To me, grailing is for love, in my personal opinion. Like, for content, if you can't complete the objective with the tools that was given to you naturally, there is something wrong with the game. So I usually don't consider that.
And you can't make unlimited grails yet.
Yeah. So yeah, but I do have a lot of characters in my backlog for grailing because, like I said, Tamamos are at the top of my list, followed by Commas, then Sakura 5s and Sakura Faces. And then I have a plethora of other ones I just wish I can get to, like Blackbeard, Asterios. I want to grail, Carmilla. I want to... Oh, excuse me.
Let's see,
I'd like to get my Yang up to 100 one day.
That's pretty solid. Let's see, like, for me, like, not that I don't do it for desire for the unit, but some of my grail choices have leaned more mechanically. I have an 80 regular Medusa, because I didn't have good writers for a while, and I really like using Medusa, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. That's what these grails are for, right? Yeah. We didn't even know you'd be able to get extra grails. It's just that, they had a strong out there, but, like, I've got, actually all 3 of my Rin Faces technically to 100, like Mordred to 100, I grailed Python and Canis to 90, as just, like, thanks for coming home. Gareth to 80, that's a fun one. I haven't done Summer Mordred yet. I probably should, even though I don't use her a lot, just to keep consistent. But definitely I feel like, specific placement in a story has endeared me to characters that I already knew I was going to roll for and been like, yep, let's lock this in.
All right, now on to the second.
Oh, yeah, sorry, they got a PS. Go for that.
Yes, I guess you can also count my Ereshkigal as part of this as well, but I liked her character so much that she's my only FGO waifu, so she is currently only NP5, level 120, 2k foe servant. My currently only NP5 servant. Okay, so I was like, wait a minute. But I was planning on leveling her to 100 for the waifu factor alone because I really like her design when I saw it, but I do plan on adding to this exact rank later because Gareth was also amazing in this story, and I've been planning on leveling her summer version to 100 when she came out, but now I am fully committed to maxing her to 122k foes as well when she arrives, which is scary because that means I'll be fishing for about 14 copies of a limited SR.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a lot. We do need that servant coin rework.
I pray. Especially because often for summer SRs, just with my luck, I have to make do with, one. Also, hey, I have not yet, sealed any deals or made any pacts, but I feel like it's a good time to say now. I'm letting you guys know first. Let's talk FGO. Your man is committed. Saber Medusa, day 1, level 100. I know it's 2 years in the futures. I call it now. I can't commit to 120 because that would require me to know what my money's going to be like in 2 years. God knows what video games will do to me. But I can have 5 grails in my pocket. Also, yes, by the way, once again, that was another run-on sentence. Like, it just starts, and then it ends with 1 period.
I like how they put a comma at the beginning as well, and then just let it keep going.
Yeah, there's a couple commas in there, but those are just, like pauses. It's still huge.
Hugest. Anyway, let's keep going. So, this next one comes from Alias. I thought you said aliens. They say, Lucky, as someone who has leveled a servant to the level 120 mark, how do you feel about the amount of resources necessary to do so? What are your thoughts on the massive spikes in the EXP needed to go from 100 to 102 and so on? It's a pain in the dick. That's what it is, because it's not only XPs, it's QP, it's servant coins, it's grails. It's a lot of resources. Let's see, I have two level 120 servants. They're my Tamamo and my Tamamo cat. Tamamo, actually, I'm really hoping that we do get that servant coin rework so I can pick, so I can know if I can pick that final, my final Tamamo so I can get her final Pen skin to 10. But there's a reason why I only do this around the half AP campaigns, because this is the only time where I feel like I can do enough consistent farming that I can actually get a reasonable amount of XPs. Half AP increased super or great suck chance. Specifically, it has to be both of those. Actually, I don't even know if I got any more. Well, maybe I might be able to do comma. I don't know. But I understand why it's so high, because, like I said, I don't think they necessarily planned for, like, at the outset of this game, I don't think they actually planned for being able to grail that high. But the unfortunate thing with power creep is if you want to keep increasing the power of your content, the difficulty of your content, you have to make sure that players have the tools to do it, and in order to get those tools, you have to make them spend resources.
Not to mention, while Palingenesis was added later, it was day one for us, but it was a thing that was patched in later for JP. But like the eventually, and I know this happens with people. Eventually, you run out of units to level. It's like some people roll and roll and roll forever, and they never run out of units to level. But I know some people who are stingier with rolling and go much more ham on EXP farming, that they're just like, yeah, I literally can't do anything with these EXPs. I just stuff them in my second archive. So I think that's kind of why they raised the level cap.
Yeah.
Well,
because like I said, they want you to spend resources. Yeah. If you're sitting around because you have nothing to do, then the game is just kind of like, well...
Yeah, it's
like I know people who have literally, even after they raised the max QP limit, who, sat down and was all like, I've been challenged, and then, reached the new mark for no reason, just because they wanted to do it. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it's similar to, hold on, lost my thought for a second there. I was gonna say it's similar to master level cap, right? Where they only increase the maximum master level when they know that most of the people on the servers have hit the cap, right?
Mm.
So I think servant leveling milestones are the same way. There have been some fears because apparently there are some story NPCs who are like, in addition to being like 6-star ultra rare units, are like level 150. First of all, unless they compress the leveling for those levels, you are not getting 30 more levels this anniversary.
No.
I think that was just like an NPC gimmick. I could see them going past 120, but probably not until we get yet another like overhaul of the materials required, right? Like they would have to introduce 6-star EXPs, and shit like that. So yeah, it's all part of like, because they're not afraid to give you the resources you need to make this work. Like obviously, adding the new 5-star EXPs and shit like that. But they do intend for you to, play the game regularly. They can't just shower you in free shit, because the point is for you to play game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same reason why I think they added, bond grails, right? It's like, oh, people stopped using units after they hit bond 10 because they want to, move on to bond farming other units. What do we do about this? We'll just make it so they can have more bond. And we'll make it ludicrous, but we'll give them big rewards so they don't feel so bad about it. It's all part of the gameplay loop, chat.
Plus, I'm gonna tell you right now, next time fucking we get a Grail font and I get a Berserker, I'm slotting in that level 120 fucking Sonic Cat, and I'm gonna go ape shit.
You're gonna have a good time.
I am. And I think that's the other fun thing, the weird thing, the thing about like getting the 120. It's like even if at 120 an SR Destined Scenario doesn't have necessarily the same stats as like an SSR, because I still think like my Atomic Cat is still Attack still isn't, that great, even at 120. But
it's still
boy, howdy.
proportional, but it's
Yeah.
much higher.
It's much higher.
And obviously it means that if you do, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We just talked about that. Again, unless they compress that EXP value, I don't think there's any logistical way they can add 30 levels to Servant in this anniversary. So, like, they'd have to do some serious reworks because that's a lot of levels. But yeah, this person did the smart thing and didn't ask me, but also I have nothing to add about specifically the 120 part because I haven't taken anybody there. I don't even think I got enough Servant coins to go all the way to 120 because that requires a lot of NP levels. To be fair, out of the the stats are really good, and I wouldn't mind them on some units, but comparatively, I usually like append skills a little bit better. I've done mana loading on a couple of Servants, and going that extra 20 is very useful, very handy. Well, yeah, but grinding out the extra bond levels is also a pain in the ass, because that takes a long time. My Mordred does in fact have a Bond Grail, but I still haven't hit Bond 11 with her, even though I think she got to tag along to, like, most fights in LB6. It takes a lot of work. That will get easier, though. Are the Dreamers teapots this New Year's for us? Chat, do you remember, or is that an anniversary? But that is, if you don't know what those are, Dreamers teapots are items you can spend to get increased bond gain from quests and stuff. Tunguska, okay. So they're towards the end of this year. All right. So mechanically, Tunguska is going to be a very important event, because that's going to give us Grail casting and Stargazer teapots, which will increase your bond farming, basically.
Oh, look at that. Let us move it on it. So this next one comes from the sleepy... I'm not sure how to say this, so please forgive me if I butcher this. Vakita, who yearns for Summer Boudica / Nightingale. Same brother, same. Or comrade, I should say. Same comrade. Dear Lucky and Omega, I hope you both have been doing well and continue to do well. It is my first time asking you guys some questions, so I hope you go easy on me. You can just pick one if you want. Question 1. While I do have Tamlin, Trislin, and fully ascended them, I waited to the end of the Lostbelt hoping to see a reason for her last ascension art/lore. Unfortunately, the sprite doesn't get used even at the end of the character's relevance in Lostbelt 6. Would it have been good for the MC/caster to see her in her final state, or is it a case like Morgan, where they just don't get closure on her in actual story and we need to have her and read about it later?
I'm going to be honest, don't know.
I don't know.
I think of several people I've brought this up, and I also agree. I do not know what her third ascension sprite is supposed to be, necessarily, because for the most part, with a couple of exceptions, she's basically off-screen at the end of her part in Lostbelt 6, when she's literally dying Lamau.
I personally do believe her third ascension is to represent her in that torn up, beat up state, just kind of smushed back together. She speaks a lot about being in pain and, her memories are hazy. And then she remembers what happens in Camelot and whatnot and curses people.
Yeah,
it's one of the reasons why. It's about why I keep her at Ascension too.
Well, yeah. It's definitely, I think, supposed to reference what goes on, but is because Babo does not necessarily directly transliterate into a boss fight at that ascension level or anything. Bargus' third ascension is used for when she becomes a calamity. There's still some wiggle room there. I mean, there's some thematic connections that the third ascension for all of the Tamlins becomes their quote unquote most monstrous. It's part of the themes, chat. But yeah, they did not use that one. I mean, actually, that's another announcements thing. Hey, they announced the next FGO mats. I think it's 13. It's Oops All Lostbelt 6. So we may actually get some clarification on this. There will be artist commentary and shit in there. Because it could just be that they needed a third ascension for gameplay stuff, and the artist drew one, and Nasu never ended up writing in explicitly that one got used. But yeah, it is certainly interesting. I'm not entirely sure what the intention is, but I know that people have commented on it.
Mm-hmm.
In general, I'm a big for all the ladies, all the Tamlins, a big second ascension fan. Admittedly for Lancelot, that's just because I think that-that's her most utility mode is when you keep her at Ascension 1 or 2, because you can switch. When do we get our Tamlin Lancelot buff where she can fucking switch her NP back?
That'd be interesting.
Very strunks. Oh shit, actually that's something I didn't even think about, but yeah, we should get 14 new rank ups this anniversary.
Oh, that's right.
That'll always be good to see. Hey, chat, will we see a gold caster there? Yeah, the red shift is all of her costumes are pretty cool. I like the masks, but yeah, it's a little wacky. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled. Will Merlin get a buff, chat? Get your bets in now in the comments.
Oh, with that, let's move on to the second question. We have plenty of time. When it comes to interludes, some are more telling than others. While your favorite servant might have a bland interlude, another servant you really didn't pay much mind to has a really fascinating interlude. This happened to me with Salome. Do either of you have a case where an interlude really hits you more than expected, or perhaps shed some light on a matter which may have larger implications? Thank you for your time, and hope your future roles are blessed by the mighty Mushroom Man. I have to say, probably yes. Unfortunately, I've done so many fucking interludes, I don't think I can specifically remember. Like, I have my favorites and all that, but, like, specifically calling out one that slapped me made me go, oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to rack one. I mean, the Salome one, I think, is a good example. A lot of people, because she hasn't been in story yet, were just like, oh, she's got an interlude. What's this going to be like? Whoa. It's actually, like, a real interlude. Shit. But, yeah, I don't... yeah, a lot of people in chat were saying Stacy. I mean, I assumed any Anastasia interlude would probably be pretty spicy, considering, but, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a Stacy, so... Surprisingly, actually, now I think about it.
Yeah, because she's permanent. It's been like 3 years. How do I have an NP2 Stacy, and it took me like all 6 years to naturally roll one single Tamamo? I guess technically I rolled both my Stacys on the raid up because I was chasing fucking Adelante altars I didn't get. It's all just desire sensor. Watch chat. I'm gonna get like 9 billion summer commas, and I'm just like, I just want one summer Canis.
Like, it will be very angry in the background.
Especially if you got all my extra Canuses on the fucking, what was it, the anniversary banner with Code Skies. Seriously, I got like 2 Valkyries. And I think I got a 3rd non-raid up Lancer. Fucking ballin'. I mean, we make that comment about every single permanent, though. We'll get them eventually. Hey, it worked! My wallet would be more happier if it happened faster, but I did eventually get an Odysseus. But yeah, like Lucky, there are a lot of interludes, and I'm still a little behind on my interludes. I probably should catch up sometime, but I got so much other stuff going on. And unfortunately, I don't have, like, exactly 10 to make the next milestone. So, I think I mostly have St. Quartz ones left. So, I'm a little behind on some of my interludes, but in general, I'm thinking, like, I'm sure there have been interludes I have done just because they were interludes and they give you St. Quartz and stuff. And, you know, you just need content to do. But I do not remember incidents with servants who I was just like, oh, I don't wonder what this will be about. I just been like, whoa. Well, actually, I don't know. I mean, I guess recently, I did do Lobo's interlude.
Mm-hmm.
That one was a little more deep than I was thinking, but not too much more. It wasn't a huge surprise of it. Just like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. You know, because
Lobo's like you are being adopted. Do not resist.
Yeah, because obviously, normally neither Lobo nor the Hessian can speak, so I think the writers got to have some fun with the dialogue there. But yeah, there you go. Interludes are cool.
Interludes are cool. So, with that, let us move on to the next one. The next one comes from the Tyrant King, eagerly awaiting the Clairvoyant Smasher EX Rec Noble Phantasm from Grand Hamster Albert this 8th anniversary, or in LB Saga Anime. Either way, we win. Hey guys, with LB6 complete, do you think we'll be getting the Drama Log subbed or an exclusive North American video tied to the Road to 7 campaign? Also, a follow-up question. Do you hope for any announcements or reveals to happen during the NA/JP anniversary stream? Anyway, that's it for me. Sending good vibes your way. Wah, 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 wah. And hope you have a great evening. I don't know about the drama logs. I think there's a pretty good chance, but that's the thing. The drama logs, like, it could happen, but I think it's gonna be a little weird.
Yeah, there are visual components, but I don't know how. It's mostly the audio part. But if you want to do subtitles, you know, you got to put something over them.
And that's the unfortunate, because like drama CDs are like a big thing. Hell, even though radio shows are, there's a lot of audio component to franchises over in JP, and we necessarily can't get that. Shout out to people online who will like record those things, put up some sort of graphic, and then you know, translate. Like I've listened to I've listened to the Gouda Gouda drama CDs that way. I've listened to some Love is War radio shows that way. And that's usually pretty good fucking content, and I love it, but like I said, it takes a little bit extra work, and I'm not entirely sure what they might do. I mean, they could, like I said, they could just make the full video and just subtitle over everything, but we will see.
We'll see. They'll do something. Like, we just got, I think, like an English translation of, or an English release of, like, the first Beyond the Tail, like, CM with English subs. Not that it, like, super matters, because those are just kind of, like, a new wave of, like, TV shorts and stuff, you know? But they are relatively new in JP, so it is nice to see, again, the advertising kind of crossover. So, yeah, we'll probably get something. It just might take them a while, and it might be a little weird. But, you know, they're releasing, you know, You've Lost Fujimaru and stuff. And also, well, I won't say 100% for sure, but I am reasonably certain that they saved the Oberon short, even though it's being released in Japanese first, until we hit Lostbelt 6 for us, you know? Because that happened. It was wacky.
Wacky, wild. As for announcements, I think the big thing I really want is a servant coin rework. That is a bit painful.
Yeah, it's painful because it's not, like, it doesn't require just whaling. It requires, like, serious pre-planned whaling currently, and a lot of grinding. So unless they, like, give us bonds, you know, 16 through 20, and those give you absolutely enough servant coins to make up for the lack of NP levels. Keep in mind also that's going to take you fucking forever. But, like, just in general, some kind of, like, better coin grabbing. I think I would also be interested in that, just because, like I said, there's some coin shit I can't even get into because it requires a fuck ton of coins that are really hard to get unless you roll NP5s.
And I think the other only real thing, this is more of a want than a need, is I really want that simulator, that boss battle simulator. Oh yeah.
That'll just, I mean, like, that's the thing I'm just gonna put on future survey releases. Like, please let me replay story bosses for 0 AP and no rewards. I literally just want to do tricks. Hell, you could turn it into, like, another source of, like, recurring content. Just, you know, only release, you know, obviously because you also want to bug test everything and shit. You know, roll them out gradually.
Hell, you can even do that, and then you can go crazy, and then you could put modifiers on those battles too.
Oh my god, pick your own BB slots?
Yeah.
That would be funny. I know we know they have, obviously they've only used it in limited events, but we know they have the kind of, like, ability for randomization shit. There's a lot of shenanigans that could be had there.
Oh man, they should just make it totally BB themed. Just make it the BB simulator.
And I mean, I know, like, other than the fact that it's extra work, not necessarily for more cash, but, like, you also don't have to reward players, but, like, it seems like it would be a net positive overall. Especially because I'm sure that content creators on the internet would use it to do funny things and advertise your game.
Oh, content creators would go ham with it. I know it for a fact.
What's that? I can have, you know, Ku solo literally every story boss ever with practice. Ku defeats Gatia with all modifiers on. Challenge speedrun any percent. People will make it work. It'd be fun. Just be the single. You could call it, like, New Game Plus. Kind of what we would like. You could do your story stuff over again, but continue to be inswollenated.
Inswollenated.
Sorry, I just read our next mailbag question.
Let's see here. So, this next one comes from just an average Bargus enjoyer. Her kid is so fun. Just an average Bargus. Those are rookie numbers. You gotta get those numbers higher.
You gotta become a pro Bargus enjoyer.
Question. Do we know why Bonbon Shi's final ascension is like... Oh.
This is why I giggled out loud.
It is like that. Maybe I missed something in the LB6 story, but she does not seem to be enjoying herself. As iterated earlier and above, I believe it's supposed to represent her damage, her rotten and damaged soul from after using bad magics and maybe getting a little torn to shreds. Much curse energy. But...
Also, by the way, that had to be... I want to put this in perspective, because I did the also talking about Bargus Kit. We'll cover that later, because I did, so you didn't get that 5-star. But, like, that had to be some pretty spicy bad shit, because, in case you guys don't know, Bonbon Shi has magic resistance EX.
Maybe because it directly affected her soul?
Maybe. But, like, this is some bad juju.
So I gotta be careful of the woo, Gio.
Beware of berries giving gifts.
Barry, all my homies hate Barry.
It's true.
So, this next one comes from Master gleefully anticipating vengeance on certain Nerofest exhibition quests. Hello, Lucky and Omega. Do you think there's any greater story significance to the reveal that the Barry we fought in LB6 was actually a copy created by Morgan. We, the audience, know that Copy Barrel thinks his original was destroyed in the recreation of a fairy Lostbelt, but he doesn't seem to care. It never seems to be relevant to the story. Resolution and Chaldea never even lures that particular bit of information. So you think it's just Nasu world building the rules of Lost World functionality, or do you think that this was intended to prime the audience for the possibility that the real Barrel might be running around on the bleached earth somewhere so that we can finally have the pleasure of putting him in the ground a second time? No, Barry's dead.
Motherfucker's dead. Like if he assumes that Morgan somehow deleted and then instantly recreated him with no memory loss, which is what happened, according to him. I think that's also probably true, considering that, you know, how tight she was about paradoxes, but still. Then, yeah, no, Barry was taking a nap in a Lostbelt that got completely rewritten. He is fucking toast. The original Barry died so hard, I think he's been erased from time. He got fucking time crashed, guys. Time paradox. But also, speaking of their question about, like, is it part of just Nasu world building? Yes, I think that's true. Lostbelt 6 exists basically because of world building. Nasu was going to write a much more straightforward story, but it wasn't really grabbing him as a writer, so he started to do some fucking theory crafting, and, you know, that turned into this. He started thinking thoughts about the mechanisms, and it got a little wild.
I remember, it was also, I do believe, some of the character designs grabbed him, like, I believe Morgan's and Oberon's, activated neurons, as we say.
Yeah, I mentioned that before, especially with Morgan, because, like I said, the story that Nasu relayed on his blog was that Takeuchi turned in the new redesigns for Morgan, because she looked different in some previous works, and Nasu was like, this doesn't look like the Morgan I have in my head for proper human history. And as I said, once again, what a Giga Chad. He doesn't go to Takeuchi and say, hey, this doesn't fit the thing I had in mind for the character, redraw this. He goes, how do I rewrite my story to make this version of the character make sense? So he did have to go in the backstory tank. And apparently Lostbelt 6 is what came out. So yeah, I again assume that little flashback we get is just so that we, the audience, can understand what happened, and presumably so Nasu himself understood what happened. Because he probably had the thought at some point, oh yeah, what the fuck happened to Barrel? Hold on. How did he get here? I caused the timeline to be rewritten. How does that work? And then he had to, you know, solve his problems. It better not be a fucking second-ass Barry.
So, with that, let us move on. The second one comes from Pekara. Who is that? Is she a new NFF employee? I can see that. Someone give me fucking Pekara in an NFF uniform. Get that on my desk.
He'd also probably look pretty snug in Koyanskaya's coat.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Luki and Omega. I hope Lysenko do more with this collab for the anniversary than just the CE and some quests for quartz and mana prisms. They could do art contests like they did before. Some art contests would be good. Actually, I don't think we've had one of those in a while.
Yeah. And, you know, there was a unique CE for NA. I'm sure JP will have a lot of stuff. Because, like I said, they are streaming a lot of panels and events at the venue. So there'll be some stuff. Some of it will just be for people at the venue. That's why you have venues, you know. But I'm sure there will be some stuff out here. I know they've gotten like a special hashtag from Twitter already. And so, yeah, we'll probably see some stuff. I mean, again, people can confirm or not. I don't know for sure if there's been anything like announced by like appearances by Pekara at the FGO Fez, but I assume there'll be something on that. You know, you don't make the announcement and then do nothing with it.
They might put Pekara on a panel somewhere.
Just put her on a giant screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, wait. This means that we could have the chaotic energy of Pekara interact with the chaotic energy of Nobunaga.
I'm not ready for this. Please don't. This is how we cause the singularity.
What new outfits can Nobunaga wear this year?
He usually picks something related to one of his characters.
Did we get a new CE for Arjuna or Dantes yet? He might also show up in a Mystic Code because he's also the main character.
I'm trying to think. Has he done Glasses Arjuna yet?
I think so.
See, now I'm curious. I don't know what he's gonna be.
He's gonna surprise us.
He is gonna surprise us. And as we say in the biz, I'm just gonna let him cook.
Hold up, let him cook.
But with that, yeah, I think we'll move on. So moving on, this next one comes from the Shadow in the comment section, wondering where all the first-year swimsuit waifus are. Question. Do you think that with all the new Fate media coming out, Lysen Hanyar, the Strange Fake anime, Samurai Redmond, etc., that JP may have a few tie-ins in the future? Whether it happens or it doesn't, I hope you two enjoy the rest of your week. I mean, now that they've done Fate, fucking Remnant, Samurai Remnant, and hecking Strange Fink, we're getting the goddamn collabs. They're in the Golden Week slot now. It's official.
Yep.
But other stuff, I'm not entirely sure.
Strange Fink has a fuck ton of characters they could bring out. I think with Samurai Remnant, that's just, I mean, not that Gudas need more backlog, but like, you can just do that anytime. Anytime you want to get some JP stuff. But yeah, no. At the very least, like, they already had a little, like, banner and some like, login stuff to celebrate the Strange Fake release, right? So, yes. Like, the week Samurai Remnant drops, there will probably be, like, hey, look! Musashi banner! Log in for a CE and some State Courts. Yay!
I hope they're going to be basing just put in the fucking give us the fucking costume. Just give us a costume. Give it.
That would be pretty rad, yes. You know, shit like that. So yeah, there will probably be both small events to commemorate releases, and then also, yes, I assume that, like, at this stage, I would assume we are gearing up for a, Strange Fake collab next year, because there's a lot of servants to unlock.
So, with that, let us move on. This next one comes from Old Man Melting. Are you melting an old man, or are you an old man that's melting? I don't know. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Sending good vibes. Wah 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 wah. Question, once FGO finishes in JP, how do you think the NA market will react? Since it doesn't seem like Lasagna is going to have an NA catch up to JP, will people continue to play the game for the final 2 years knowing the end is in sight? Or do you think there will be a massive die-off in interest in the game? Thanks and have a great day. You guys really make my week. Personally, I think it's going to be column A, column B. Once people know that something is ended, it will just straight up kill their interest and they'll just quit. They will literally just go dead game and just vanish. How many people? That I couldn't tell you.
And I think that's going to have to depend on, like, where JP does the sunset, right?
Right.
Like, because obviously FGO is very, I don't want to say story-focused necessarily, because it takes a while for story to come out, but it's very story-heavy. So, like, if it truly is a situation where final event hits, complete it, okay, we're closing the servers, no more new servers will be added, etc.
Well, it also depends on I will say, I don't mean to cut you off, but I do also need to be like, it also depends on how they decide to close the server. I'll be talking about this more tomorrow, but D-Child has, delivered their, end of service announcement, and they're going to be closing in September. But they will not be closing the game completely. There will still be a version of the game called the Memorial version where you'll still be able to access it and see your characters and gear and stuff. So you can still, always have them. Once FGO actually ends, they might do something similar where maybe they don't do any more events or any more servants, but they let things just perpetuate for a while. Maybe even as long as to keep, let NA reach that point, and then maybe they'll shut down the servers.
Yeah. And there could also be, like, depending on how that works out, they might stay open for a while to rerun old banners and events to make sure everybody gets, a chance to get some of that stuff. I would assume, just because, like, of all the informatic records, I would assume they would probably want to aim for, like you said, a memorial type thing where just, like, there's no, like, live server check, but they could, encode a version of the app where you just store all your, what servants you have stored local side, and all your fucking battle data and sounds and stuff are downloaded anyway, so they could just let you, like, keep all your event memorials and servant records and stuff. You can put most of that on your phone, I think, already anyway, so yeah. I could see them, like, creating an isolated version to be like, okay, no more story updates, we're not going to turn the servers on, so there's no more banner rolling, so new people can't play, but if you existed and beat the game, here you go, you can look at all your records if you want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it'll depend a lot on, like I said, the time frame of, end of service or sunsetting announcements, what they do before that, and how long that takes. Like you said, I agree with the column A, column B. Like, some people, like you said, will just be dead game and call it a day, but like, me personally, obviously, I'm going to be here to, like, read to the end, so I'll be interested in the story, and, well, to read story, I still have to punch bosses, so I'll still be interested in units, because, gotta do gameplay. So, yeah, it'll, like I said, it'll depend on the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you have a great day, comment leaver.
Mm-hmm. So,
gesture aggressively at my screen.
The next one comes from Soul of the Light Mode Discord, who says, Dear Omega Onyx, Omega Onxy, and Lucky Lapis Lazuli. Now that we have dealt
Boy,
with
what's going on with you guys this week? I feel like there's slightly more typos than usual.
now that we've dealt with Barry AI, heck, we only have one more crypto to go. So I was wondering what your ranking of the what was your ranking of the cryptors? Has Kadak moved up because of his extra screen time? Has Wodame gone down due to having the personality of a damn claws? Do you even remember what's with these leading statements?
Yeah, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, fuck you.
You know who's at the bottom of my list? You. All cryptors better than this guy, except Barry. He sucks. He's in the ground. Literally in the basement.
Yes, I'm just gonna yeeting this away. And as always, good feels be. Wah 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 wah.
Your words and deeds are not synonymous.
But let's see here.
I remember everybody. I remember everyone, chat.
No, I mean top of the list is probably is the Pepe.
Yeah.
Forever. Then probably follow that up with Wodame, Kadak, then Python, Ophelia, and Barry's not even on this list.
Fuck him. Not even included on the tier list.
Nope.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I do kind of feel like no matter what, Ophelia ends up at the bottom just because her story ends because she died.
Yeah.
Reminds me of some conversations OSP and Red has had about character deaths. Everybody drink. But, like, writers don't usually like to kill characters because, well, it's good for stakes. It means you can't write with those characters anymore. And, Ophelia was, our second Lostbelt, our second cryptor ever who got a real story focus. And she kind of burned through all of her story stuff and no more, which is kind of sad in its own way. But it does definitely mean that, like, compared to the heavy writing that, recurring characters like Wodame and obviously, like, Kadak and Pepe, who were, like, truly recurring. It's just not the same. They haven't gone real hard on Python either. Python obviously ranks very high for me. That's kind of cheating, though, because half that is just from the fun of her as a servant and less as a cryptor, right?
Yeah, I mean, we just enjoy Python for Python shenanigans. She just calls us Kohai and we go tag along and do stuff.
Like, she is the only one of these characters who's actually gotten some real, like, recurring, downtime stuff because she's summonable and, she got a summer ult, so that's fun.
SSR Python win.
Pretty funny. Listen, I know I keep asking for it, but I just want the hilarity. We go out of our way to talk about how she can go to the Throne of Heroes. I'd really like them to acknowledge her in a central core story that she's just here now. Especially because I'm pretty sure, based on art I've seen, eventually Kadak is gonna wake up from his poison coma and just be walking around. Like, I'm just waiting for the day he has that run into the halls.
I think I've seen several comics of Kadak just being bamboozled.
Especially because Kadak would probably be like, "Yo, Akuto, what the fuck are you wearing?" It's just like, "I look good for my husband. How dare you?"
Osama loves these clothes. How dare?
It's true. I enjoy them greatly. They are aesthetically pleasing. Also, by the way, I am a robot horse. Do not be alarmed. Kadak would be like, "I'm very alarmed. Thank you." Good day.
And then we'll have another straight man to go along with Gold just being like, "What the fuck is he doing?" I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I feel like Kadak's characterization would be much more like his... I mean, he'd be on our side, but it would be like in the original Lostbelt, where it's like, Gordolf is like, "All right, okay, you're shenanigansing. All right, cool, keeping it together." Kadak will just be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Oh my god, how the fuck have you lived this long? You are a literal lunatic." Yeah? Listen, I've seen the Earth blow up twice, man. I got shit to do. It's rough out here. But okay, we have like 5 more of these.
Let's keep going. This one comes from, how did this clown last 6 years of FGOs, but can't seem to finish other projects? Don't worry, I'm like that too. The minute the frickin' LB6 was over and all the rewards are done, I immediately broke my login streak. I was like, son of a bitch. It was like the day after. I was like, God damn it. But they say, "Hey, Lucky Omega, hope you both are well." I certainly am not. Oof. This Lostbelt has hit my heart and my brain, and I haven't recovered. This is what we'd like to call in the business getting your Kokoro Brokero. My question is, did you guys notice in section 19 tax 7, right after Mash was relieved from her ice coffin, we flash back to As Tonliko, where the coronation of Uther was sabotage. She says this line that stood out to me: "Take the rest of the universe for all I care, Celestial Sphere, but Britain is mine." Celestial Sphere. I have thoughts on this, but what are your thoughts on this?
I'm pretty sure I did notice section 19.7. This line sounds correct. I don't remember it verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a lot of interpolations there. FGO does have kind of this weird recurring ring theme.
Like I said, unfortunately, this is the unfortunate thing with these sort of works is there's several interpretations I can take this, and until I actually know which one, I am loath to put my finger and say, yes, this is it.
Yeah, this one doesn't scream like exactly one specific theory or call out to me, so I'm just kind of like, there's a lot of stuff it could be.
Like, it could be speaking to, just cosmic force in general. It could speak about Gaia. It could be talking about Alea. Could be talking about, more broader things, just like the inner sea of the planet.
Could be talking about fucking the White Titan, though the Velber was more of a diamond shape, but I don't actually know if Morgan would know that. The alien god appears as like a point of light previously. Ars Alman del Salmones is, a giant ring of light. Chaldeus and the Shiva observation lens around. Not necessarily celestial, but, there's many orb-like objects. Nasu really likes space.
Space. Though unfortunately, I do not have a quick and easy answer for you. But who knows? It may become clear one day. But we shall move on. This next one comes from Dave on the high seas. Hope you guys are doing well. Good vibes and whatnot. Wah 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 and whatnot.
Yar.
Yar. This next one comes from Monster Girl Aficionado, who says, Dear Lucky and Omega, no question this week. Just wishing you well and sending good vibes. Wah 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 wah. Keep up the great work. You too, my dude. I hope you've had a great week as well. This next one comes from Dragon Girl versus 6 evil foxy ladies. Will she be able to touch the fluffy tails? I believe in you, Dragon Girl. I believe in you. But they say, hey guys, it's been a while since I put in a comic, got a new job that works for the government, and been busy with life. Anyway, my question is this. We have many animal-like trait servants, like Best Fox Waifu, Burb Chef, Cat Girl Archers, etc. What other animal trait servants would you like to see, like deer servants, as an example? I do love animal traits in general.
I mean, deer is pretty cool.
Deer is pretty good, but like, what's our dragon levels recently?
Our actual dragon situation still kind of chaotic. I actually don't even know if Tiamat has she probably should have the dragon trait, but I don't know if she does.
Like, Tiamat's rocking the big horns, but like,
and obviously Mother Draco is Mother Draco, though admittedly she, looks more like she was, actually technically with her sword, I feel like, Mother Draco was just getting ahead of herself on her Final Fantasy 16 cosplay.
Big freed energy.
Quite the same. Yes, Larva Tiamat does have the dragon trait. Good.
Excellent.
She does have a comfy scarf. Well, let me click the dragon trait and see what we got. We have a lot of Artorias. There's Rishra. There's Ibuki.
Hmm?
Huh? Sorry, I don't even know. This is like a spoiler. I'm fucking bamboozled. I hope they have a good explanation for this later. Kotomine is dragon trait. What the fuck has he been eating?
Wow.
He's an alter ego, so I'm sure the alien god made him like a high servant or something, but that just makes me go like, what the fuck has this guy been snacking on? Damn.
Must have put a dragon into his, is he a high servant? I forget.
Yeah, I think, because he's one of the foreign god's disciples' alter egos. I'm pretty sure he's got some extra goop mashed in him.
Okay.
Does he even actually have the... Oh, no, he does not have the high servant or anything profile, like passes, but he does have a few other things. Sorry, I just forgot. He's got a. I knew this already, but I just remembered. He's got a passive skill called Poison Proof Confidential. It makes him immune to poison because Rasputin is unkillable. Oh yeah, me chuckling by the way. I giggled a little there. I had a random thought when Lucky was talking about believing in Dragon Girl. I'm just picturing one of those hang in there kitty posters, but there's just a female Aura hanging onto the branch. Don't know why. That one snuck up on me. But yeah, I actually, thinking about like animal traits, obviously, we have a shitload of dragon trait servants. Very few of them are actually that dragony. Most of them have just, eaten a dragon. They possess the dragon factor. And one of them is a dinosaur. Yes, Kyokoyo is a dragon.
Listen, I'm okay with it. I love her.
It's fine. Technically that's a pun. The word for dinosaur in Japanese has the kanji for dragon in it. This is a reference that comes up in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes. Can't get their dragons sorted out. But not many of them are overly dragonly traded, so I could use a few more of these just for personal preference. But I also don't think we've got any, like, explicit, like, actual, like, dog or wolf people. We have a lot of allusions to dogs, and we do have a literal fucking giant wolf on our team, but I don't actually think we have any, like, dog kimono mimi. I can actually probably check that out. Let me go to traits. Animal traits.
I'm thinking...
Characteristics. We got a lot of bunnies. I mean, I guess technically, because Bargus does have animal characteristics, she is supposed to count, but she doesn't really show off a lot of that.
Give me Ratatasker just so I can have a character with a huge squirrel tail. Just give.
That'd be pretty funny. Yeah, I think it's just the only one with dog traits openly is Bach when she comes in.
Also, give me the Morgan so we can have a crow theme.
Also, well, I guess it's not always the strictest, but Bakken is not counted in the animal characteristics servant category. I don't think so. It's weird.
He's cosplaying.
Possibly. Technically, Don Quixote, because of Sancho, has like a kind of horse girl aesthetic, but that's a weird one. He's a weird little wombo. She does get different ascension sprites though with each one, so I guess that's funny. But yeah, dog and pony show. There you go. Also, as much as there's, I think probably because of it being type moon, as in moon, we have a lot of bunnies. We don't necessarily need any more of those. I also seriously wonder if the reason why, unless I'm like, no, this is in class order, so I can see right where she should go. Baka not being in this list, I must be because she got added after the Tunguska event, which is where I think there was a big animal characteristics check. It could be for other reasons, but like, because this animal characteristics thing still accounts for the fucking costumes that have bunny ears, right? Like you can give Shiki bunny ears, and Skahak has her costume. Obviously, they count somehow. It's weird.
Bunny-eared servant.
Also, not necessarily like a specific animal trait, but a specific animal man. Yo, where's Munitaros? Motherfucker had a mirrored sprite. Where is that big boy? We've had several giant ladies. We can handle a big man. 5-star Asterios upgrade. Go. I'm pretty sure Munitaros was a gold boss.
So I'm trying to think of like what other potential names, but no, Lucky's usually about rabbits, dragons, and foxes.
Birds are cool.
And I do like birds. Crows have been steadily gaining on my list.
We at the very least have several bird-adjacent servants in addition to, Miss Crane being a literal crane.
I know Kirky's not a bird, but she just gives me a bird vibe. I don't know why.
Well, she does have bird wings.
Yeah.
And feathers in her hair, but technically, I think that's supposed to be because she's a goddess.
Yeah.
She is technically a minor deity, descendant of the sun. So yeah, you get some extra shit. Yeah, that's right. We fly. Cuck on, motherfuckers.
I think the only thing that, it's not animal adjacent, but the only usual thing I got a huge attraction to is like a succubi and the like. Usually succubi designs of all sorts of natures are usually pretty choice in my opinion.
Yeah, we don't really, we do have a handful of dragons, but we don't actually, and we have a couple Oni, we don't actually have a lot of, demonic or devil girls. Yeah. Or boys even.
Technically we have Mephistopheles, but that's not really...
Yeah, by design, Mephistopheles is even a fake-ass demon. He's not even real.
Yeah.
That's the point of the Faust. Some of this, I think, has to do with the fact that having read the Nasuverse lore on Demons TM is weird, and I don't think it's been updated in a few years, but there's definitely some stuff there,
Oh, that's why I keep screaming. That's why I keep screaming about Lilith. Give me that OG demon girl.
That would definitely work. Hey, well, we'll see when Ordeal Call does the thing.
Mm-hmm. So with that, let's keep moving on to... Oh, they say one last thing. And yes, I did get Vitch to NP6 for reasons. Listen, when her banner comes around again, I'll probably pick up that last copy I need. Or not. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a fucking coin fix.
We'll see.
We will see. But last, but definitely not least, the one, the only, it's Agent 418 saying, "Hello, Lucky and Omega. Have a good weekend, y'all. P.S. Now that the first half of the year is over, but most of the big gacha ban is done, welcome to the second half filled with Lotto, Hunting Quest, Raids, and Summer Lotto. Hope your apples are ready. I still got 100 plus. I'll live, I think. I hope.
For reasons of my personal safety, I will not disclose to you how many apples I own. It's a lot. And I still have a decent amount of silvers. I do not have that many bronzes. I burn bronzes a lot when I'm like, oh shit, I need 10 more AP for something. No. I don't want to do a full refresh, but I really want to do this third free quest right now. But yeah, there's mailbags.
Mailbagoos.
Took about an hour. Pretty solid.
Nice.
About an hour 46. Obviously, they'll be trimming in this, so if you're watching this on YouTube and are like, Omega, it's not an hour 46 right now, it's because I edited the silences. The awkward pauses, they're gone. I have destroyed them, reduced them to atoms. We won't be keeping you too much longer, though, but do have a little bit of wrap-up to do. And like I said, we'll catch up, moving on to Caldea Free Talk, on some So You Didn't Get That 5-star. Because there are some pretty good 4-stars on these banners. And we didn't really talk about their kits, because, we were fucking drowning in story. Actually, I don't know. You certainly get a lot of paper cuts. You probably could asphyxiate from 9 blocks of printer paper.
Probably.
Paper is weird when you get to compressing it. But yeah, all right. We're gonna start. We're gonna begin at the beginning, which is a B, which is Bargus, the Saber. Tamlin going. She is an SR Saber, got pretty good HP for that level, and lower attack for that category with the Gorilla deck you'd expect from her namesake. Free Buster cards, if you're curious, if you don't get that reference. Her hit counts and NP gain are pretty good for just 1 quick and 1 arts card. I think she's got like a 5-hit quick, so pretty decent in there. And do not let that low attack fool you. She's pretty spicy. I feel like they, designed this so to give her more HP to start with to work with her kit, and then we're just like, and let's just start stacking offensive buffs. We're fine. So, her Noble Phantasm is an AoE Buster. It activates Buster Increase first, based on Overcharge for 1 turn. It gives her 3k max HP for 5 turns after it activates, and reduces her skill cooldowns by 1. This is pretty good, because you just get 3k extra HP for 5 turns, so that's just good. And also, it's 5 turns on the NP, so it is stackable. And she gives herself a cooldown -1. Pretty baller. Her first skill is her version of Numeral of the Saints, so that's her version of Gawain's skill gives the juice. So it is a flat plus 18% attack for 3 turns, and then is an 18 to 28% buster up on Sunlight fields for 3 turns. Numbers are a little weird, but Sunlight is one of the more common ones, and I believe that there are at least 2 servants now who can set that. I believe both Oz and Gawain himself can. I think Gawain got his Knightless Charisma buff. They can make it Sunlight, and there'll be more in the future. There's at least 1 more servant coming down the line who can add terrain effects, if not more, so not that hard to hit, plus it's already pretty common. But yeah, that's just, further attack up, further buster up. Skill 2 is another 20 to 30% buster up for 3 turns. This means you can get some very big buster ups. Some big busters, if you will. But also, this has her special Survival of the Fittest buff. That's the one you hated from the story. At least it's the one I hated. So, this is the one that means on normal attack, she heals 1k HP and strips 1 buff on that hit. And if the enemy gets a buff stripped, they get 10% defense down for 3 turns. Once again, this is pretty good. Just every normal card can remove a buff and stack a defense down. Ballin'. And then her third skill is the dreaded Foul Weather, the big scary damage cut, which is not as good as the story version, but still pretty fucking good. This is a team-wide 500 to 1k damage cut for 3 hits, 3 turns on the entire team. So you're talking like MASH level shit here. Also, it gives the party 10 to 15% NP gain per turn for 3 turns. So everybody gets 15% NP at the end of the turn. That's pretty good. Her passives are just Magic Resistance C and Madness Enhancement A+. Big bustin'. Basically, this kid is like, hey, what if we made Gawain in year 6? Like, you're talking about crazy good buster ups to compensate for the fact that her inherent attack stat is low, and insane recovery, huge damage, and she takes hits like the brick house she is built like. A very solid unit. Huge stonks on that damage cut, multiple heal sources, can reduce her own cooldowns, by the way, every time you NP fire, which goes hand in hand with, Coin Sky and nonsense. And also just, lordy, those buster ups. You will do some damage. Excellent anchor on the team, yes. This is why I said I am not upset about that NP4, baby. Big stonks. And now, moving on to a kind of a completely different unit. Kind of. Babanshi, which technically that's a V sound. Bavanshi. But if you say it fast enough, the B and the V are basically the same syllable, so it really doesn't matter. It is definitely she, though. I've heard some people still say it Sith. No, it's pronounced she. But she's a single target archer. She's kind of in the middle of attack on this and leaning slightly higher HP. Not really outstanding in either, but not at the bottom. She is quick arts buster, just like her Knight Sona, with fairly average hit counts and slightly above average NP gain. Not that that matters, but we'll talk about that one in a sec. So her Noble Phantasm is a single target quick. It gives her sure hit for 1 turn first, and it curses the enemy for 1k damage for 5 turns, and does 5 turns of Disastrous Curse, the Curse in Begin, based on overcharge. It starts at 200%, so you're doing, I believe that's increase, so you do double, or somebody can tell me if it's 3k. But it maxes out at like, sorry, I had to drink my water there. Got a little scratch in my throat. But it maxes out if you're at maximum overcharge at like 400%, so that's a lot of curse. It's a lot of damage. Pretty good for an E-rank Noble Phantasm, in case you forgot that the numbers, or the letters anyway, mean nothing. There we go. Had to take a cough. Okay, so her first skill, 30 to 40% quick for 3 turns. It is also an evade and an invul. That's 1 hit of evasion, 1 turn of invul. But it deals your whole party 500 damage. Because it's the fairy cat skill, so, she, pushes stuff off your shelf or something. Scratches your shoes, I don't know. But pretty good tanking. The second skill, her Promised Child effect, hits the whole enemy team with 1 turn of skill and NP seal, because fuck you, and is a 20-30% battery. By the way, this is Babo's fairy domain. This canon, that's your thing. It's not as big and as much of a strong as Morgan's, Royal Authority or the other stuff that we see like Nocnaria or Murian do, but still pretty spiced to just be like, nah, no skill for you, no NP for you. And then her final skill, Fey Vampirism, is a vampirism skill, so it does some stuff you might expect. First of all, it's a 2k to 3k health drain on one enemy, so the enemy loses that much HP and she gains that much. It will not kill them, but will take them to 1. It is an 80 to 100% chance to charge down by 1, and is another 20 to 30% battery. This is why I produced an infamous meme image when her kit was released, where I showed, the double hot dogs meme, and it was Mordred talking to Babanshi and just being like, gee, why does mom let you have 2 batteries? But yeah, no, you're looking at a total of 60% batteryfication and some other stuff. Her passives are, as mentioned before, Magic Resistance EX, you do not debuff the Babo. Riding A, so quicks are pretty good, and Territory Creation A, because, Magecraft, and also her arts hit pretty good. So, while not designed for infinite high gain loops, Babanshi here is a great stall and grind unit thanks to multiple defenses and stun tools. If you want to get a curse team going, she's got a pretty good resolute for that. It's very easy to actually, slap the curse on them, give them some evil curse as well. It's, got sure hit, so you can dodge through evades. Not that sabers are super known for evades, but some of them do. And mobs are more likely than that. You've got kind of 2 hard defenses. The evade and the invul at least, let you absorb multiple shenanigans. And like I said, the stall tools are really good. I don't know if anybody has been building quick stall teams, but if you just need to fucking grind out a boss, like I said, this is a pretty good one. Because, she has skill and NP seal and charge down on skills. So, pretty solid. And then lastly, to round out the SRs, giving us our final Knight class servant, funnily enough. It's almost like there's a theme here. We have Percy. A new SR Lancer, by the way. I did not mention it before, but it's important to note. The 2 Tamlins are story-locked. You can only get them on banners or by rolling the story gacha after you have cleared the Lostbelt. Percival is just permanent. He's just here. Hi.
Whoever.
He's a new SR Lancer. He's fairly in the middle for attack and HP. Kind of center of the block. Despite the fact that he is a Lancer, he does have a quick Arts Buster deck. Normally, this is associated with Sabers in this community, if you don't know. A lot of Sabers early on had that deck. He's got pretty high NP gain because he has relatively low hit counts. His arts card is only 2 hits, so he's got a decent spice on there. His NP is an AoE arts NP. It gives him Pierce Invul first, and buffs his NP damage based on overcharge for 1, so the usual, self-steroid and a piercing, and then it's AoE. So very good for cleaning up enemies who like to, throw dodges at your way. Archers are much more likely to do this. So funnily enough, by the way, all of Percival's skills are basically the same as his NPC version. They're just all called something different. So you're pretty used to his kit. The big difference is that his NPC NP is different. It has a completely different effect that I do one day maybe hope that they add to the regular version in like an interlude or something. Because that gives him bonus damage versus Fey and Dragon type enemies, which would probably be pretty baller for farming. Just saying, Lasingle. But yeah, so Percival's first skill gives himself 20-30% arts up, gives the party 10-20% NP damage, and is also a 10-20% battery. So just a good NP steroid. The second skill is a full 3-turn taunt, and gives him 30-50% NP gain increase while being hit for 3 turns. So, once again, Lancer's tank. His final skill is a targetable 1k to 2k heal and a 1 turn of invul. Passives are magic resistance B++, B++, and a writing C+. While not a huge standout, Percival is still very solid, and he has niche support as a supporting healer and tank, while having pretty reliable damage output. He's got an NP that drops Pierce Invul every time. And considering that Lancers are known for their endurance, it's... While I don't know if that was how it was supposed to be in Fate lore in general, the way that mechanically FGO tends to spec Lancers is a lot of them are very tanky, very turtley. He's a welcome addition to that team, especially because he plays well on a team. He has team-wide buffs, heals, taunts, shit like that. Very solid. Also, literally, a very solid boy. But yeah, that's our back end there. There's your update on non-5 stars. Yay.
Yay.
Very briefly then, let us check in. The poll ended today, so next week, your Fanservant Friday result will be Caster Harry Houdini.
Oh, okay.
I think I've discussed Houdini before, but I double-checked in my notes, and I'm pretty sure I haven't actually broken down my full idea of his profile before. Check and fact-check me on that. But I try to double-check everybody who wins a poll, and I didn't see him on the list. So, if it comes out, over the week that, oh, we already did that one. Like I said, pretty sure we haven't. I have a lot of people who are on polls, but, I gotta double-check stuff. We can go to our runner-up, which is Annie Oakley. But, yeah, Houdini is our poll winner, so we'll throw that one in there next week. But, yeah, don't really have any mores than that. That's the limit of the show. That is as far as we can go. I mean, we crossed 2 hours raw audio, so still pretty good.
Pretty good, us. Good job.
Golf clap.
Golf clap. Patchy.
Well, in that case, we can probably do the outro and get on out of here. And I can enter the Sleepyverse. Alright, so, hey. If you like this video and are watching it on YouTube, give it a like. You can leave your comments in the comment section down below, or join our Discord. Link in the video description and our channel page. If you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to keep getting these videos. Click the subscribe button. Subscribe. Do it now. You can also ring that bell for notifications. Even if you're already subscribed, you always know we're posting new videos or live streams. You can also join our channel membership by clicking the join button. Get access to membership badges and emotes viewable on live streams, comment pages, and community pages like Mailbag. You can get a little star next to your name. Isn't that rad? And also, like I said at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to audio versions of the show early for as little as $1 a month or approximately $10 a year. And other fun stuff. And also, like I said, it is getting towards the end of the month, doing a little bonus stream poll for the people for a bonus stream. Also probably next week around Thursday. So that's on our community page right now. You should check it out as well if you haven't already. You can even vote for me to play Melty Blood. All right, that's everything I got.
All right, everyone. That's it for me, too. So everyone have a good evening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.